Fitton rocks Comey and Mueller's world with the most explosive lawsuit to date by US4Trump.com. In an explosive move to gather information, America's top watchdog, Tom Fitton, has issued a FOIA lawsuit involving Mueller and Comey. America will know the real facts behind the story of the special counsel. Specifically, Fitton is suing the DOJ for the communications between Mueller and Comey. This is huge. Why are the communications important between Mueller and Comey? The communications are important because they can show us if Mueller and Comey coordinated before and after Comey was fired and what they said to each other. Moreover, it is possible they collaborated to institute the special counsel. Additionally, what if Mueller and Comey were communicating prior to the book deal? Most importantly, the communications will show us if the special counsel was the explosive insurance policy quote that Strzok and Page spoke of in their texts. Tom Fitton was on the Tucker Carlson Tonight Show last night, although Brian Kilmeade is the anchor filling in for Tucker. Brian begins by reminding the audience that Mueller and Comey's relationship goes back a long way. Then we'll take a listen to the clip. Why should I read it instead of listening to it straight up?
Former FBI directors Jim Comey and Robert Mueller have a long history of working together. Both are key players in the investigation into President Trump and Russia interference, if it indeed happened, in the 2016 election. But have they been coordinating with each other? Good question, right? That's what Tom Fitton once answered. He's the president of Judicial Watch and has to sue now to get that answer. Tom, what are you after here?
Oh, we're after everything. But more specifically, we want to know about what Mueller and Comey were up to as it relates to these memos. We had already sued for the Comey memos, and the Justice Department told us, well, Mueller has them in his files, so you can't have them, which was a big lie in the sense that they gave them to Congress. But we want to know what Mueller and Comey were up to in that regard. We already know that they colluded on the testimony that Comey gave last year that talked about the memos and was an anti-Trump tirade. And, you know, Mr. Mueller's investigation would not be here but for that illegal leak by Mr. Comey through his friend to the New York Times, a leak that's now under criminal investigation or one step away from being under criminal investigation. You know, Mr. Comey has a lot to worry about, Mr. McCabe has a lot to worry about, but Mueller, he wouldn't have an investigation but for those two men. He's the one who's running a zombie investigation because everything's collapsing around him. The memo show there was no Russia collusion, Trump did nothing wrong, and the one who did something wrong was Comey, and Mueller isn't even targeting him.
So, Tom, you're wondering if it wasn't just the Columbia professor that got those memos dropped off to him. You're wondering if Comey dropped those memos right up to Robert Mueller.
And did Comey get the blessing of Mueller to go around and start talking about the memos to Congress and using them in his book? I mean, we've also sued for the FBI and DOJ to figure out how it is that Comey was allowed to use this material in his book. It was either private or classified or confidential, and he shouldn't have been able to use it. And Mueller certainly had to have been involved in blessing that operation. You know, Donald Trump has a lot of enemies, and it's Comey, it's Mueller, it's the deep state and the FBI and DOJ, and it's Andrew McCabe. And two of those people are facing jail time. You know, the irony, just quickly, Brian, is that Comey is in the same legal boat as Hillary Clinton right now. The mishandling of classified information is a significant legal liability for him, and it was for her. And you have to wonder whether he exonerated her because he was doing the same exact thing.
You know, it was so quick, Tom. It was, okay, I'm fired. I wrote memos, put them in the New York Times, Robert Mueller. It happened so rapidly, you wonder, well, how did that take place? Now, a year later, forensically, we're going through it, and he did something illegal to make it happen. And you wonder how many of those pieces were in place before the trigger was pulled with the memo drop. So it is going to be quite intriguing. I just don't think these higher-ups in the intelligence divisions in law enforcement ever thought there'd be somebody pushing back like Trump and others were on this. They usually get away with a lot of this at the highest levels.
Comey's a bad actor. The DOJ, FBI, Mueller need to come clean about its communications and dealings with him after he was fired.
All right. Tom Fitton in the morning often doesn't wear a tie, but for a Tucker Carlson show, he does.
But it's true. It's true. They usually get away with it. But lo and behold, the tide has turned. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.